I was not expecting this at all. Like, normally Candace is like kind of a pit bull, right? I figured she would have just been like, oh, great show. Looks great, guys. I'm sure you're going to kill it. Matter of fact, all my listeners, you guys be sure to go check out that show. Go watch and support. Lord knows they need the support right now. They are hurting bad over there. Like, I just assumed that's how Candace was going to play this. No, Candace's feelers are hurt bad. What a freaking
full-fledged attack campaign against Mitch Snow to attempt to assassinate his character, to try to destroy his public reputation so that no one would dare believe a word that he has to say.
To attempt to assassinate his character. Mitch Snow would absolutely love for his character to be assassinated. That's how bad his character is. In fact, he tried to assassinate it himself by changing his name. Assassinate his character. What? His character is shit.
It's disgusting when you listen to this conversation. He tried to charm him into establishing a rapport and then acted like he was acting in Mitch's best interests.
Oh, poor Mitch. Poor Mitch. Poor grown-ass man Mitch. Special Forces Mitch. Oh, poor Mitch. Did he get hoodwinked and bamboozled by big bad Gary Melton?
I want to say this also. History books, they're not going to be fair to me. I think we know that. When I am long gone from this earth, the history books are not going to tell the truth about the things that I did. They're not going to tell the truth about my contributions. But I want to be clear that I want to be remembered as the person who was holding the internet back. Last year, I was in earnest holding the internet back. Everyone was coming at Turning Point USA, at all these allegations. And I was like, no, chill, just give them some time. Everybody grieves differently. Just give them some time.
So she's mocking Erica Kirk there with the whole everybody grieves differently thing, making the claim that she was holding the internet back from attacking Turning Point USA. Is that what we saw, guys? Is that what we were watching? We were watching Candace Owens holding the internet back? Saying don't go after TPUSA? We didn't see relentless attacks week after week after week on all kinds of different members of TPUSA, including Erica Kirk? Were we not, what were we watching? We were watching Candace Owens hold the internet back?
It's just different. But now I quit, okay? Hands down, I am letting the internet go. I am done, okay? I'm already the media's public enemy number one, but now I feel ready to fully embrace that.
Candace, you're not public enemy number one. You're laughing stock number one. You are very easy to make fun of and incredibly gullible. Don't believe me? Ask Mitch Snow. Ask Mitch if you're gullible or not, Candace. She clearly doesn't have close friends because her close friends would be telling her that I take that back. She has at least one close friend. And I think that friend might actually be Ian Carroll. And we have some evidence of that in this video. Candace kind of outs Ian a little bit. But Ian, as a good friend should, was finally coming to his friend's help saying, hey, this probably isn't a good idea. This is going to make you look really bad and probably hurt your credibility. Forget about all the other garbage and shit she's pushed. The Mitch Snow thing. This is what went too far. Fort Wakachui and like what? Of all this shit that they've come out and like the Mikey McCoy, the Rob McCoy, all this insane, it's whatever. Pick your poison, right? All of the insane crap that they've spewed. The too far thing was the Mitch Snow wife beater guy. That was the line, guys. Really? That was the line, Ian? We were like, hey, Candace, we should probably chill on this. That was the line.
Alex, let us know. Okay. I literally have no idea what he's speaking about. I was off air and Alex Jones was just burying himself, getting fact checked. People are attacking.
Alex Jones was burying himself. Man, she just can't let that go. She's said it right, guys. We have the proof. On her Piers Morgan interview, she knows how to pronounce Barry. She has said it correctly. But for whatever reason, she's just got to hang on to Barry. Alex Jones is burying himself out here. Man, who gives a shit? Alex Jones can get it too.
Him because he's lying about what I've said. He's pretending it's personal. Like he and I had a conversation, or like I went after him on the show. I don't know what that is. But then I would eventually find out exactly what it is. First, the efforts from Alex Jones and these YouTubers. First, they played like they were friends with him. So you had this Paramount Tactical account and Valhalla who called up Mitch.
That's crazy. That is such crazy work. Valhalla has been like defending Candace Owens for months. And because they don't buy the Mitch Snow shit, she's just going to be like, oh, this Valhalla guy. Candace Owens, ladies and gentlemen, no loyalty to anybody, ever, ever.
And pretended to be a brother, like a brother in arms. Yeah, brother. Yeah, we're trying to help you. We think, Candace could be potentially fun.
Okay, so what does she mean? They were pretending they're going to be nice. Why would they be mean? What good would that do either Valhalla or Gary from Paramount? What they're just going to be like super mean and aggressive toward Mitch Snow for what? So he won't talk to him and then they can't get any information from him? Gary even says in that phone conversation, listen, if you're telling the truth, I'll back you. But if you're not, I'm going to call you out for it. If I find that you're lying to me, well, I'm going to tell people you're lying to me and I'm going to show them how I know you're lying.
This is, Paramount Tactical, potentially working with foreign agents and like, you're one of us. At the exact same time, they had Ian Carroll calling me, and Ian Carroll was being a friend. And he's like, hey, you should get on the phone with them and you should come out against Mitch because Mitch is a fraud. And
so the accusation here is that Gary from Paramount Tactical and Valhalla VFT were telling Ian Carroll to tell Candace to back off the Mitch Snow thing.
And Mitch was never in the military and it's going to be really bad for you. Like, you need to make a statement against Mitch. So
that's a straw man. Neither Valhalla nor Gary ever made the claim that Mitch was not in the military. You know what else they didn't do? They never said that he wasn't at Fort Hakachui. These are straw man arguments. These things did not happen, and Candace says these things to make it seem like they're liars. The argument has always been against Mitch Snow that they don't believe he saw what he says he saw. And the reason that they would go through his background and try to find information on his character to see if he's somebody who lies about shit for attention or not. Come to find out, seems like he's a pretty big pathological liar. He made a tweet about his dad being the Zodiac, which he has since deleted. That's all this, that's all this Mitch Snow thing has ever been from these guys. And like accusing him of stolen valor. Yes, from my understanding, Mitch Snow had claimed that he was medically retired, and he is not, which is stolen valor. So they were right about Mitch Snow being guilty of stolen valor.
Just to make that clear, they're trying to pressure Mitch to say something against me and trying to pressure me to say something against Mitch, to believe that Mitch was a fraud and to have Mitch believe that I was a fraud. That struck me as odd. I did not take the bait. Then after, through a third party, effectively threatening me and saying that lawsuits were going to be coming if I did not.
So she just accused Ian Carroll of baiting her? You should probably pick some better friends, Ian.
Go back on my word of allowing, Mitch to be on my platform and share his story, that there were huge lawsuits coming. And I explained to Ian Carroll, I was like, Ian, this is not how lawsuits work. They didn't send me a cease and desist. What have I done wrong here? Then they said that he was never, that it was like stolen valor. He was never in the military. And then they had to admit that, no, actually, Mitch was in the military.
They never made the claim that Mitch Snow was not in the military. That is a lie. That is a straw man argument.
But they were ashamed because he was a really bad dude who abused women in the past. And then they brought out the said women onto their platform. Like suddenly we are being brought into Jerry Springer and they had to absolve his past. Everyone's like, what does this have to do with Fort Huachuca? Can Suge Knight see Brian Harple at a military base?
It doesn't have anything to do with Fort Huachuca, Candace. It has everything to do with Mitch Snow's credibility as somebody who would be telling the truth or not. she knows this. This is so stupid. Yeah, but what is the fact that he's a pathological liar and has been caught in multiple videos telling complete fabricated stories about his life, things that he's done? What does that have to do with him telling the truth about seeing Brian Harpole and Erica Kurt at Fort Hawkachui a day prior to Charlie's assassination, insinuating that they were somehow in some private military meeting planning Charlie's assassination? Like, what? Candace. The grift is dying, girl. It is dying. You're just, oh man, like I almost feel bad. She's clearly running out of material. And it's getting like I'm going to show you some clips from yesterday's video. Like yuck, what are we doing? What are we doing, Candace? You got nothing else to talk about? I mean, she probably has all kinds of stuff to talk about, but nobody's going to listen. Nobody wants to hear Candace talk about anything but Charlie Kirk. Let's be real. Candace, you dug yourself into a giant hole with this entire Charlie Kirk conspiracy nonsense. You're not going to survive this.
Do I care about Suge Knight's history? What does this have to do with anything? This is just illogical. So when the public didn't bite on that, The public didn't bite on that, Candace. Look, oh man, that was a great. Yo, Jay Witt, I'm coming for your screenshots, buddy. I'm coming. Look at this one. Look at that. Matter of fact, hold on. Sorry, I had to grab that for the thumbnail quick. He then said that it probably wasn't even true that he was at Fort Huachuca because he was a pathological liar and they could prove if this was a bad dude and a pathological.
No, they never said that he wasn't at Fort Huachuca either. That was never the claim. In fact, Gary even said he probably was at Fort Huachuca. Who cares? I don't care if he was. Great. So he's at Fort Huachuca. Neat. Did he see what he say he saw? Well, he doesn't have any evidence that he saw what he saw. So we have to take him at his word. Well, how strong is his word? How good is his word? Let's look at his past. Oh, shit. Yeah, it doesn't look like his word's very good. Now let's jump into yesterday's video from Candace Owens. This was hilarious. I was in Jay Witt's chat while he was live streaming this, and she started talking about this show that Daily Wire is doing that's basically making fun of her or whatever it is, right? And Jay Witt was like, "Oh no, this is gonna make her mad." And I was like, "No way, Candace is a narcissist. Any attention that she can get, she's gonna love it." I was wrong. I was way wrong. This hit Candace. Like this hurt her feelings. So much so that she's like throwing a bit of a leave me alone, stop picking on me kind of thing, right? Keep in the back of your mind what Candace has been saying about things like Erica Kirk and her privacy. Like, oh no, you don't get to choose what's private and what isn't. It's either all public or it's all private. Well, it's kind of the same thing with this, Candace. If you're going to publicly put yourself out there on the internet and make borderline retarded content and say kooky shit, well, then you don't get to not be made fun of. You don't get to choose whether or not somebody believes you or doesn't believe you. You don't get to choose if you're trolled or not. This is the internet, sweetheart.
I am now telling people that Ben Shapiro is my psycho ex-boyfriend because that's what this feels like. None of this is normal. We don't have to pretend this is normal. Nothing that has happened since I have left that company is normal. Not how I left the company. Not the glorious town hall, the slave hanging, teach everybody a lesson. It's psycho ex-boyfriend. It's the ex-boyfriend that breaks up with you, blasts a message to all of your friends, says, come look, here's why I did it. I hate her. And you're like, okay, I guess this is over. That's fine. I'm gonna move on in my life. And then you try to move on in your life. And like he's sliding into the DMs of everybody saying you can't deal with, don't speak to her.
Oh, Candace, you poor thing. You poor thing, Candace. Are you just trying to move on in your life? Are you just trying to move on in your life and they just keep picking on you? Oh, you poor thing, Candace.
She's terrible. I'm going to smear her. I'm going to tell you what she is. I hate her. It's like, okay, fine. That's okay. I'm happy to move on in my life. Means I'm going to sue you. I get everything. The apartment we share, the car you're going to leave, you're going to have nothing. Okay, that's fine. Take it. I'd like to just move on in my life. I'm going to sue you again because I'm upset about something else. Okay, fine.
What is this?
I would really just like to move on.
I was not expecting this at all. Like, normally Candace is like kind of a pit bull, right? I figured she would have just been like, oh, great show. Looks great, guys. I'm sure you're going to kill it. Matter of fact, all my listeners, you guys be sure to go check out that show. Go watch and support. Lord knows they need the support right now. They are hurting bad over there. Like, I just assumed that's how Candace was going to play this. No, Candace's feelers are hurt bad. What a fucking. So this was put out on January 6th, I believe. And I'm guessing most of you haven't seen this because nobody watches Stu Peters. But there were a few things that happened in this interview that I want to cover.
Certainly by now, everyone here knows the name Mitch Snow. Mitch Snow is the U.S. Special Forces veteran who was on Fort Huachuca in Arizona on September 8th and 9th, the 2 days immediately preceding the assassination of Charlie Kirk, one state north at Utah Valley University. And when he was on base, Mitch says that he saw the upper echelons of Turning Point USA, people like Erica Kirk and Brian Harpole and Cabot Phillips, meeting and cavorting with U.S. military brass and federal political operatives before he was detained by the military police for, let's just be frank, seeing something that he just was not supposed to see. Now, as soon as Mitch came out with this information on air with Candace Owens, he incited a full-blown panic. Turning Point USA and an army of influencers and so-called journalists started circling the wagons, running a very obvious...
First of all, it wasn't a full-blown panic. It was a... Wow, these are some pretty serious allegations. We should probably look into this and see if it's real. Oh, come to find out, not only is it not real, but Mitch Snow is a gigantic piece of shit. And we should probably inform people just how big of a piece of shit this dude is, especially considering that Candace Owens has a GoFundMe going for him for like $150K or whatever it was at.
Obviously bought and paid for full-fledged attack campaign against Mitch Snow to attempt to assassinate his character, to try to destroy his public reputation so that no one would dare believe a word that he has to say.
To attempt to assassinate his character. Mitch Snow would absolutely love for his character to be assassinated. That's how bad his character is. Why would he? In fact, he tried to assassinate it himself by changing his name. Assassinate his character. What? His character is shit.
Which is actually something that Mitch is used to. It's been happening to him for a long time as he's been targeted relentlessly by the family court system in Washington state, which is a very common method of attack when the United States government comes after dissidents.
It's also a very common method of attack when you're a piece of shit. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
They hit him with CPS. They threaten their children. And they ratchet up these attacks as time goes on, especially if they won't just sit down and shut up and fade into obscurity. But now, after what Mitch saw at Fort Huachuca, this has reached the next level. And the very same people who have been trying to destroy Mitch Snow for years on end are now joining forces with well-known individuals and organizations in yet another attempt to crush Mitch Snow. And this time, there are more lies flying around than ever before. We've seen people like Alex Jones releasing to the entire world manipulated and deceptively edited video footage and trying to mold Mitch in the mind of the public into a woman-abusing hammer attacker, which is exactly what Alex Jones called him when he released the manipulated footage. Alex Jones called Mitch Snow a hammer attacker, who, as the video footage proves, didn't actually happen. Mitch Snow never attacked anyone with a hammer.
Well, he attacked that car, and he was waving it as a threat of force towards a woman.
And it's not just Alex Jones, although he is a point man in all of this, but there's a cadre of bought and paid for internet personalities coming after Mitch Snow. Some of them are even pretending to be Mitch's friend or his brother in arms. People like Valhalla, a retired Special Forces member who was happy to talk about Mitch, not to Mitch.
I'm like, oh man, with as much shit as I've given Nate, and if you guys haven't seen my videos where I've called Nate out on not only getting shit wrong, but from what I can tell, seems to be that he's purposely putting out misinformation. I almost feel bad for the dude. One thing, like he's military, you know what I mean? He's former special forces. He's not like, you know what I mean? Like above all else, that's where those guys stand. So if you're going to bring somebody into the fold, that's part of what Nate and like Gary are, and this dude's a piece of shit, like those guys are not going to fucking, like, I don't give a shit what you think about the Charlie Kirk thing, all that. You know what I mean? Like those guys are not going to let somebody like that come in and give a bad name to them, or you know what I mean? I don't know if I explained that very well, but like above all else, those guys are going to hold that done. You're like, and for them, like for these guys to go out after somebody who's part of that brotherhood, you know, it's fucking serious.
Even when Mitch paid $20 to send a super chat to Valhalla before he had ever appeared on Candace Owens' show, telling Valhalla that he had information on Fort Huachuca and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But instead, Valhalla got drunk and ignored him.
No, that was fucking hilarious. That super chat came in and Valhalla read it and was like, "Whoa, that'd be crazy if that's true." And he just kind of blew it off. Nailed it. He nailed it, by the way. Just saying. Smart play, Valhalla. Like, of all the crap you've done over the last 4 months, that was solid, dude. Nailed it. And then came out like props for Valhalla for coming out against Mitch Snow. I don't like a lot of the other shit that he's done when it comes to Charlie Kirk, but it is what it is. Politically, I think for the most part, we're sort of on the same page, right? There might be a few little differences I have here and there, but like overall arching political shit going on right now, I'm kind of right there with him. But that was hilarious when he was just read that super chat and was like, "Oh, no, that'd be crazy if that's true." And they just kept going talking about like how big of a dude Ian Carroll was.
And went on talking about his man crush, Ian Carroll, and about how tall, dark, and handsome he is. He ignored Mitch Snow's direct attempts to communicate and get his story out there. Yeah. And instead of talking to Mitch, Valhalla dragged out some estranged son who, in his attempts to assassinate Mitch's character.
How dare you, Nate? How dare you ignore a crazy ass text? How dare you ignore that super chat? You should have taken that super chat super seriously. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't have the same type of sense of humor that I have, but I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Accidentally, inadvertently confirmed that Mitch really was on Fort Huachuca when he says that he was there and that he really was taken into military police custody, just as he said that he was, because he got a phone call from the military police. Then you have guys who were willing to talk to Mitch, Gary Melton, and Gary approached him as a special forces brother as well, only to reveal himself as yet just another member of the den of vipers that's trying to destroy Mitch's life and destroy Mitch's credibility.
Wow. Wow. Fucking what a claim. The den of vipers. There's a den of vipers you're going to attack and destroy Mitch Snow's credibility. Mitch Snow doesn't have any fucking credibility. What are we talking about? Stu Peters. Like, these shirts suck too, by the way. You guys agree with me? Like, just get a regular fucking collar on your shirt, dude. This, like, straight line collar. Suits anyway. Hate wearing suits. Douchebag. Liar's clothes. Can't stand wearing suits. How much money do you guys think he spent on this suit? What a putz. All that money and he's got no character at all. Bro, you didn't change your name, dude? Stu? Are you kidding me? What's up, Stu? How you doing, Stu?
Offered to help Mitch. It's disgusting when you listen to this conversation. He tried to charm him into establishing a rapport and then acted like he was acting in Mitch's best interests. But as soon as they finished their conversation...
Oh, poor Mitch. Poor Mitch. Poor grown-ass man Mitch. Special Forces Mitch. Oh, poor Mitch. Did he get hoodwinked and bamboozled by big bad Gary Melton? Oh, poor Mitch. He was attacked by his special forces brother who pretended to be his friend. Oh, poor Mitch. What the fuck are we talking about? What is this narrative?
Which Mitch recorded and provided to the Stu Peters Network, which I have subsequently posted on X.
See all these guys?
Gary Melton
There's no
immediately
way
turned around
Stu
and
Peters thinks this is this serious. Like, this is an act, right? This has to be an act. This is just everybody's just a troll. There's no way that Stu Peters here is this serious about this. Oh, poor Mitch, he got picked on by Gary Melton in Valhalla.
stabbed him right in the gut. He started coming after him. He accused him of stolen valor. He dogpiled with Alex Jones and the rest of these people to try to crush Mitch's story. And now he's threatening legal action against Mitch for recording their phone call. Yeah, because he's terrified.
Fucking what the fuck is going on?
But people like Alex Jones and Valhalla and Gary Melton, they're not alone in this situation. Morgan Ariel has inserted herself. Evan Kilgore is in the mix as well, doing everything that they can to attack Mitch. Evan Kilgore claims that he's talking with Mitch's former friends and former girlfriends and long-lost family members who are giving them the rundown on just how bad of a guy Mitch Snow actually is. But in reality, these people are just throwing everything at the wall and hoping that it sticks. All of them. They're all hacks. They accuse this guy.
Coming from what looks to be one of the biggest hacks on the internet. Like, oh man, I don't know. Like, are we really, is this where we're at, guys? We're in 2026 now. And like, for you to be taken seriously, you've got to have a fancy studio set and wear a super sharp, like these guys want to be the media so bad. They just want to look like the garbage mainstream media that nobody trusts anymore. They just want it so bad. Gotta believe me, take me serious. Look at my stupid overpriced set.
Snow of everything under the sun, from spousal abuse to child abuse to working on behalf of British intelligence alongside Candace Owens, because they're trying to sow doubt in Mitch's testimony.
Gotta look good though, because we got to get that marketing money. Got to get that marketing money, guys. Those ad dollars. Got to get that ad revenue. People, like, if you guys are still falling for polished talking heads, stop it. Stop it. Get on the line. Look, if you're in my comment sections, okay, and you have relatively good takes on shit, right? Start making videos. Just start putting yourself out there. Let's get rid of these assholes. Let's get rid of this garbage. If you are an honest, good person and you have solid takes on shit, start making videos. Just do it. Who cares about the quality? Who gives a shit? It does not matter. Start getting your opinions out there so we can get rid of crap like this.
Their viewers and their listeners into buying the official Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson assassination narrative, or a controlled opposition narrative that drives them away from the truth, that drives them away from Fort Huachuca. These people are running cover for the people in the operation that murdered Charlie Kirk. An operation that quite obviously is still ongoing, especially when we're talking about the information.
Running cover for Tyler Robinson? What? What? How? Did they wait? Did I miss something? Do we have evidence of somebody else being involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Did I miss something, guys? Because as far as I could tell, still 4 months removed, with the only evidence we have is Tyler Robinson. Holy f***, this monologue is forever. It's giving me the hiccups. I'm going to skip ahead here to get to some Mitch Snow stuff.
Yeah, Miss Owens was very thorough with all of this. The pictures of the people that she showed to me, those weren't the only pictures, and we went through just.
And like, guys, if I were special forces, right, and this was one of my brothers coming out and being a bitch like this, dude, I'd be calling his ass out too. I'd be like, no, get this guy the f*** out of here. I don't want to be associated with this whiny little trash bag in any way, shape, or form. Cut it out. Might have gone too far with that one. Whatever. My show, it's my opinion. I'll say what I want to say.
I'm looking at some pictures, but no, I stick by what I said. And if I'm wrong, okay. It was meant to be a tip. I am I'm only I'm only as good as what God made me fallible. But
So he kind of like somebody, listen, guys, if I were super confident, right, if I was a 95 to 99% sure confident that I saw what I saw, I wouldn't be talking like this. I don't know that many people would. Like, if you're like, hold up, listen, okay, my past, right, is shit. All right, I'm a bit of a douchebag. I definitely have some domestic stuff in my past. Some of it's a lie, some of it's true, whatever. Okay, guys, listen, attack my past all you want. All right, I'm not a perfect person. However, I'm telling you, I saw what I saw. Not, it was only just kind of like meant to be a tip, you know. Maybe I'm wrong, and if it turns out I am, I'm wrong. But it is, it is what it is. No way, dude. Not a chance. If I know that I'm being completely honest and I am 99% certain I saw what I saw, I'm going to have that confidence when I talk about it. Not this. This isn't how I'm going to talk. It was just meant to be a tip. I'm going to be like, no, listen, okay, like 99% sure, guys, that I saw Brian Harpole here. Okay, like there's a 1% chance I'm wrong, but man, I'm telling you, when I saw the picture and saw the interview of Brian and I started thinking back, I got goosebumps. That's how, like, holy crap, I saw this dude here. This is weird. I need to tell somebody. That's how you would be fucking reacting if you truly believed what you were saying. Tell me I'm wrong.
what I spoke about was Fort Huachuca, going down there, what I saw. They want to bring up all this dirt from my past and these women, and God bless them. The video in question, that's gotten a lot of play over 10 years, until you realize that the person holding the camera wasn't just holding the camera. She had a unregistered 25 caliber brass Bauer, if I remember correctly. And it wasn't the first time that she had tried to push me into a situation and make me react. On that day, I'll tell you, I'm not proud of that. I was just frustrated. I was done. I wasn't supposed to be in the garage. I was supposed to be me and my son, and my keys, my wallet, and phone were supposed to be in my truck heading to my bank and then to my attorney.
Listen, okay, guys, I don't know what, and this is not a knock on women, okay? I don't know what your guys' experience with women is, okay? But if I was out in a garage and I was having a temper tantrum and I was banging on a car with a hammer and sort of raising it in a threatening manner, and there was a woman who I was fighting with and she had a gun in her hand, I no, I'm going to put the hammer down and I'm going to try to do everything I can to diffuse that situation so she puts the gun down, because there's a solid chance that not only could she shoot me, she could shoot and kill me, and she could shoot and kill me and walk. Like, nope. I don't know if she had a gun in her hand or not, but if she did, like, I don't blame her. Dude's out here throwing a crazy ass temper tantrum with a hammer and is beating on a car with it while he's screaming and like making threatening like, yeah, cool. If she had a gun, gangster, get it, hold it, keep that on your person. So I don't know, whatever. I'm just like, I would not have acted this way towards any woman if they had a gun on them in their hand and they felt threatened. Like, nah.
I didn't know that she had learned that I was heading to an attorney. I didn't, I guess she had checked my phone or she had gotten into my emails or something. And yeah, if you listen to the conversation on there,
Oh man,
she was the one that
how fucking embarrassing. Wow. Like, oh man. That's got to be embarrassing for this dude. Like, I'm embarrassed for him that he's on camera acting like this. What a putz.
Me to that garage. She's the one that had her back to the door, was coming in and out, and she was approaching me. And yeah, I got frustrated. I acted badly, and I've apologized for that. I've paid for the car. I've paid for any damages. I've wanted to move on with my life. I wanted her to file for divorce. That would have been fine with me. She didn't, so I had to a year later. And we've been in that ever since. You know, I've been waiting for trial, so that these things can come out. I think it's pretty intrusive. I think it's pretty vile, actually, that these things are getting released without scrutiny into the public.
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset if my ass was on a video acting like that and it's being blasted all over the internet. Yeah, I would. That would not be a proud moment for me either, Mitch. Holy fuck, this guy.
The guys that
I just want to clarify. All right, there is not a video of me acting like this that exists. Period. Just covering my ass here, guys. All right.
Working with the same attorney that's been basically following me for years. He's either coached or consulted with or represented.
And furthermore, you know she's got a phone and she's recording you. And you continued to act like that? Like you're retarded. If I was going off on like if I was being like this, right? And all of a sudden my significant other or whoever like is recording, I see a phone pop out, like, bro, I'm switching up quick. What? You just were like, oh yeah, record me, go ahead. I mean, I guess, man, people are stupid.
Each of these women, and it's been
Anyway, there's one more part of this video that I want to cover. This is an hour and 42-minute interview. Like, I don't give a shit enough to go through this entire interview with you guys. But there is one part where he talks about his son that Gary had on his show. And that's what I want to cover.
In this case, something that they didn't tell their audience was that you have never met this person. Is that true? You've never met this person that they propped up as your son on their podcast?
One time when he was about 2 months old and his mother came to me to let me know she was already living with someone else. We had a non-contentious divorce. It just took a while because I was pursuing my career in special forces and in the military. She had been in the military. She got out. She went home. She was living with others.
So the son that Gary Melton had on his show, who was listed, allegedly, according to his son, who was listed as an emergency contact on his paperwork. Mitch is saying, I met him one time when he was what did he say? 2 months old? There is nothing on this planet. I don't care how crazy the woman is. I don't care how toxic the relationship is. There is nothing on this planet that would ever stop me from having or pursuing constantly a relationship with a child that I've created. Nothing would stop me from making sure that I did everything I could to have a relationship with that child. I don't care how old they are. I don't care how much time it takes. I don't care how much money it takes. There is nothing that would stop me from being in my child's life. I don't care if the mother remarried and the stepdad is 10 times better than I am. I don't care. I would do everything in my power for that child to know that I'm the father and that I'm here and I want them in my life. This dude and I'm just going to say it. I don't care. If you are like this in any way, shape, or form, you are a piece of shit. I don't care about, I don't. You can come at me with all of the excuses in the world. Oh, the mother didn't let me see him. The mother didn't let me do that. The mother didn't let me do this. Doesn't matter. You continue to pursue. That is your child. One day that child will be 18. That child will be an adult, and the mother will no longer have control over what that child does. Just my opinion, guys. You might not like that, but like, this is a huge red flag.
And when it came time, he was adopted by the person that he's always called dad. I've never met this young man. I wish him nothing but the best. If there was anything I could do for him, I'd do it. Him and his mother, and I don't think his mother probably would approve of him getting on the show like that, but
how old is he?
You know, it's been a long
Isn't he
time
30
since I've
something?
talked to
And a veteran? What do you mean you don't think his mother would approve of him getting on the show like that? What difference would that make? What a stupid statement to say. I don't think his mother would approve of that. That's a grown-ass man. What are we talking about? You know how much shit I do that my mother doesn't approve of? Or did, I guess. Now, for the most part, I don't think she has any problems. I'm a pretty boring dude now, but.
talk to her, and I've never met this young man. And what's really disturbing to me is this claim that he was my emergency contact on anything. I don't even know his last name. I don't know his number. There's no, I've put him on no documents. We don't know how he would have gotten onto such a thing. It's been, that's a little bit disturbing. If there's any truth to what he was saying about being called.
That is weird, guys. That is so weird. So let's say, okay, so is his kid lying about getting called from them and being his emergency contact? That would be a weird thing to lie about. Not saying that he isn't lying or that he is. I'm just saying that I feel like that would be a very strange thing to say, that to lie about. But you're going to talk about an estranged son you don't even know his last name. You just made this whole like spiel about how you would do anything for him or his mom, and you don't even know his last name. You know nothing about him. You don't have contact with him in any way, shape, or form, but you would do any, like, this is where we're at, guys. This is the level of investigations that Candace Owens has found. This is amazing. This is the type of stuff her investigation brings up. We find a guy like Mitch Snow. Thanks, Candace. Awesome contribution. You're right. The history books are not going to say nice things about you because you're a fucking idiot. In fact, I'm not even sure the history books are going to say anything about you at all, Candace. And if you guys are wondering, like, how good things are going for Candace, all of her, but like, Valhalla's not even talking about the Charlie Kirk thing anymore, right? I mean, he might do a couple of videos here and there, but his live streams now are covering other subjects. But Ian Carroll and Baron Coleman are back on the exploding mic theory. Like, that's where we've gone. We've come full circle. We're basically back to like the beginning of everything that happened. It's not a 30-06, so it must be an exploding mic. Here's our evidence for that. That's where we're at. From September 10th to January 7th, guys. That's where we're back at exploding mics. Take it easy. We'll catch you in the next one.